All right, y'all. So, welcome to the chart. So, basically, okay, if y'all can see to the right of here, I got this black rectangle over over like what has happened. Like even next week from when y'all are seeing this, y'all will see the next video and y'all will see this analysis over here. But for right now, because man, I've been busy. I ain't gonna lie. My job consumes a lot of my time. That's why I swing trade. So that following weekend of where I was supposed to go over these two trades, I wasn't able to because I was tired. I got a lot of other responsibilities, so I just wasn't able to get to my laptop to record the video. So right now though, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over these two trades. So let's see. I took this one. If we go up to the daily, I took it on the daily. So right, we looking right. Actually, matter of fact, let's go up to the week. So that was what week was that? Hold on. So I'm looking at May. All right, so we were looking at this. So we saw that price came down to this fair value gap, right? And that week before, it came down and it mitigated it. And then the next week, you see a push, right? You see a push up from it, right? And hold up a minute. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm tweaking. My bad. So this is the weekly right here, right? It pushed off of it, created a market structure shift, and left a fair value gap on the daily. So from the daily time frame, when I saw it tap into this, usually you don't want to see it tap into it again, but sometimes it will come down into that area to take out some liquidity from a previous low, right? Which is, one of the PD arrays, that's what it's called. So I saw that it came down, it took the liquidity right here, right? But then closed like this. So then I scaled down even more. Right here. I scaled down even more. And on this one, out of a daily PD array, right? From there, I will scale down to a 1 hour time frame. So let me go back. So when I scale down to a 1 hour time frame, that's where I'm gonna look for my entry at on the 1 hour, right? I try not to go deeper than that because I like to keep myself as a swing trade because I just don't have time to stare at the charts like on a 15 or a 5 minute time frame anymore to manage it. So it's just easier to look at it hour by hourly or 4 hour or even daily. You know what I mean? So for the daily time frame, the hour chart correlates really well with that time frame. So when I went down to hourly, right, I saw that we had this 1 hour 1 hour fair value gap that was forming outside, as a push up out of this daily. Now I wasn't 100% sure because these candles right here, they're very small, not really showing much momentum. But the reason that I thought and understood that there could be a very good potential that it's gonna push out of here is because of that daily candle, right? That daily candle right here. Let me reset this. So this daily candle right here, right? This one I'm looking at a different way over here. These two candles, how they closed, showed me that, especially this candle, it showed me that there's a potential that it wants to push back up, right? So if I go back down to the 1 hour, let me scroll all the way back. We have this 1 hour, fair value gap that was also forming, and you had this candle that closed inside. So that was kind of like another confirmation for me. And also, I've noticed for how the candle formations form for me as far as reading it. When I see that a fair value, so let me explain it all the way through. So when there's a fair value gap that forms, if the next candle right here, right, if this candle closes below the wick in here, that right there usually means that the next candle or the candle after that or real soon there will be a candle that goes back down into that fair value gap and then pushes off of it, right? Usually for me, my data has backed up the fact that all my winners happen from that formation right there, literally. So that gave me more of a, I guess you could say, more confidence to take the trade, more of an understanding that, hey, your setup is happening, bro. Take the trade. So what I did is I set a pending order. No. Yeah, either I set a pending order or I market executed. I think I set a pending on this one because just for the simple fact that I was at work and I can't stare at the chart. You know what I mean? So I put my pending in, and what happened was, I mean, obviously y'all can see, but I targeted this high right here, right? I targeted this high. Now my initial target was, this high over here, but I was like, it's after this happened right here, this wick, I was like, it's not really showing that it wants to continue higher or continue to hit that target right then and there. You know what I mean? It was like, and plus I believe it was what day was this? Hold on, let me see. That was on May the 25th. Let me see what day that was. The 25th. Let me check. So the 25th, that was a Wednesday. So it was already the middle of the week, and sometimes a target this high will not be met. You know what I'm saying? From a Wednesday, Thursday to a Friday. Most of the time it won't. Like if this was a Monday, maybe there's a good potential that throughout the whole week it'll play out and hit that target. But that target is kind of so far, it's pretty far away that it was kind of like, I don't know. So I was like, I'm gonna just take my money. So I took my money, right? I took my money and I had a good trade, and it was a 1 to 2.4. So that was a great trade. I believe I had some screenshots in the in the actual vlog. Like this is like 3 weeks from then. So I gotta finish editing it and then it'll be out for y'all. But now let's move on to the next one. So this one was also based off. It was a re-entry into this trade because I just didn't feel like holding it. Like I said, like I forget what day. No, I don't forget what day it was. My bad. I'm talking about this one. The reason why I got out of this one right here. But let me talk about why I got into this one, and then I'll pick up what I was just saying when I get to this point. So on this one, on the hourly, right? I was still looking at the hour time frame, and we had this fair value gap that formed in it, right? That was also another leading factor as to why I closed it out up here instead of holding it on to, instead of holding it and then just re-entering it or scaling into it around here. I saw that, remember what I said right here, right? When the candle body closes underneath the wick to the left, usually that's a sign that fair value gap is going to be retested. That means that fair value gap is not going to be a breakout, right? It's not going to be not a breakout, but a breakaway gap. It's not. That doesn't mean that. Usually, from my data, that shows that it's going to be retested. And I saw this one did the same thing, but that's not really too much confirmation, right? It closed it closed below it, and it was already tested. So from that push, but then the push wasn't a lot of momentum in that push, so I closed it out right here. I just took my money, right? But I saw this was left, and I was like, it looks like it's gonna be retapped into. So then what happened? So this was on the 25th, and this one was the next day. No, it was the same day. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, because I mean, obviously y'all know I work at night, so my days are like mixed up. So this was at around 2 a.m. and this one was at 11 o'clock at night. So that same day when I went into work, I set my pending right here, right? And my stop originally was right here. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I broke my rules on this one as far as moving my stop. But I was so confident in this one, in this position right here, that I was like, my stop might be too tight. Because like I said, it was originally underneath this low. It was underneath there, right? But I saw how close it was getting to it, and I was like, it looks like it's looking for more liquidity before it goes up. And long and behold, that's exactly what it was doing, because once it hit my stop loss, right, after I moved it, it then shot up, and I took a good ass profit from it, right? So I moved my stop below this low right here instead. and I allowed the trade to play out. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was watching that mug closely. Like it was getting, this candle right here got so dang, no, not this one. This candle right here at first got so dang close to stopping me out. I was like, no, not today, because this trade right here looked good. So I moved it underneath this low. Still had a good risk to reward. It wasn't messing that up. It wasn't messing up where I wanted to see my target hit at. So I was like, this is all right. I'm still gonna meet more than a 1 to 2. So I moved it, and I was okay with how much I was risking for it. So that happened, and it played out. And while I remember this was on Monday morning of when the market opened, because this was on a Friday. This went into a Friday, I believe, right? Yeah, it went into a Friday, and I just remember I woke up on Monday morning, because I was at home. I wasn't at work, right? I work Monday through Friday, night shift type stuff. So I woke up. It was like 6:30, and I was like, shit, what is it doing? So I opened up the chart on my phone. I looked at it, and I was like, let me just pay attention. So then 7 o'clock hit, and I saw, like, it was over here, and I saw this candle open, and we didn't have a break of structure, right? Like we didn't create a new high. We created a new high, but it was only a wick high on the hourly. So I was a little iffy about it. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna keep going up. Like, I already knew that my overall target was I already knew that my overall target is, I believe that's not the high. My overall target is this high. That's where I want to see price go right now. But as far as the week goes, my overall target was right here, right? Was this high. And it was a few pips away, right? Like I should have left it alone and let it play out, but I was so dang tired because I had worked a lot of damn hours that week, and I was beat. I had worked an extra 6 day, so you know what I'm saying. I didn't feel like staying up and watching it, or just leaving it to do its thing and then potentially losing out on my profits. You know what I'm saying. So I decided to close it out, because this last trade, this last candle where I closed it right here, it wasn't looking too good. It was like this wick wasn't right here. It was kind of pushing down, as you can see. It was pushing down a lot. So I was like, I'm gonna just take my losses. So I waited. Take my profit. I waited for it to go up just a little bit more, and then once it did, I was like, close it. So I took my little nice. It was like 1.6K. Excuse me, 1.6K. And if I would have left it though, I would have hit my actual target, which was this high right here, and that would have been like a 2,200 play right there. Would have made 2,200 from that one. So then the following week though is all these trades right here. I think I took 2 trades over here, and that's in the new vlog that y'all gonna see. So so I appreciate y'all for getting with me on the charts. Welcome to my stuff. I have a problem. I ain't gonna lie with y'all. I have a problem with changing my chart colors. So overall, this color that y'all see right here, that is my main chart color. But let me go to my chart templates real quick. Oof. I got a lot of chart colors. I like changing it up a little bit. Like, once this gets a little boring to me, I'll change it up, but then eventually I end up going back to it the same day, because I'm used to it now because I've had it for so long. But this, like, here's one right here. Here's this one, right? I got so many. Look at that. Like, and now this is the one that I'm using currently. Like, I'm using this one right now because it's very smooth. It's just like it's very non-emotional, because if y'all didn't know, colors are like a psychological thing where it'll make you feel a certain way. So when the colors are like very neutral, it allows you to think clearer and a little better sometimes. Unless you just already know what you're doing, then I mean that doesn't affect you. But I just want to see if it has a little bit more impact on me. So I've been like, I went back to my little simple colors. So that's what I have right now, but I'm gonna just go and put it back to here because I love these colors. It's like it's all customized by me. Obviously, I mean, you can see, like, this is gold. This color right here is a gold that I created. Not created, but on the template, the color finder thing. I found like a little gold with a white outline on it, you know, golden golden wicks. And then this is a rose gold color. All right, it's rose gold. It's not just like a dull red. I mean, technically it is, but this right here is a rose gold color that I like. So so basically my charts are gold. Okay. But yeah, enough mumbling though. I appreciate y'all getting with me on the charts, and I will see y'all on next week's episode. But I will probably put episode I forget what episode 4 and 5 out kind of like back to back, because I didn't put them out when they should have came out. So I might just drop these next these next 3 episodes. I might just drop them all back to back. But yeah, make sure y'all, well, not make sure, but I would appreciate it if y'all liked, subscribed, and dropped a comment. I want to make sure that I reply to y'all, and I just appreciate y'all again for tuning in. Like, thank y'all for joining me on my journey to becoming a full-time trader, and let's get it. I'm gonna see you on the next episode. Y'all be smooth.